8 minutes, something like that.
Pretty soon.
And we are live on campusnation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. So we welcome everyone they're watching and listening on all our media, including the Hocking Hawks athletic website. So we are streaming live to that site as well. I'm going to turn it over to our broadcast crew. Go ahead and take it away, guys.
Okay, thanks, Rick. Of course, I'm Bill the Razor Rayback. I'm joined by my partner, Chuck Hale.
Good to be here, Bill.
A great day for football.
Beautiful spring day, that's right.
Finally got one without rain, and we are at the Poley Field where Nelsonville, York used to play, Chuck, years ago before they got their beautiful new facility. And so we're going to be broadcasting the spring game for Hocking College. A lot of new players we're going to see today, Chuck. We'll try to get up to speed as quick as we can on that. And, Coach Matthews has done a nice job bringing this program around. He's trying to get the schools in Ohio to notice Hocking as an opportunity to funnel kids there so they don't send them to Virginia or South Carolina, wherever, so that those kids can come back and play for Ohio colleges.
Right. There's very few opportunities for kids to play junior college football in Ohio. And, Hocking just provides that opportunity. And like you said, keeps these kids in state and helps get them back to
There's your stream.
Local universities and
Right.
things around the Ohio area. So, yeah, that is great.
Yeah. So let's talk about the format, Chuck, here for the third annual Blue and Gold Spring Game. The first half rules and scoring is going to consist of two 12-play drives, 3 plays to gain 10 yards. The offense picks up a point. 3 plays to keep the offense under 10 yards. Defense picks up a point.
Right, and that's a pretty standard format, really, you see with a lot of smaller schools in the spring. They just don't have the roster size that, large universities do to be able to play a more conventional game. And as far as the second half rules, we're going to go with 2 10-minute running quarters. And again, the blue or the offensive team will score 2 points every first down, 3 points for a field goal, 6 points a touchdown, and of course 1 point for the PAT.
Mm-hmm.
The defense will score 3 and out will be 3 points for them. A stop on fourth down will give them 4 points. Any turnover will be 6 points, and again, obviously a PAT for them also worth 1 point.
Right. So Coach Matthews had described to me the format on this. What we're going to see here is they're going to do a little bit of 7-on-7 before they get into the actual scrimmage part of it. And at halftime, Chuck, they've got a little competition going on here.
Yes, they do. They're going to give kids a chance to come out, and they're going to compete for the longest pass, longest punt, and the fastest kid. And they're also going to have a women's category today, longest pass, longest punt, and fastest woman here at the game today.
So a little sidebar action to the football.
Yeah, a lot of entertainment here today at Poly Field.
Chuck, when we look at the Hocking roster, and they had a great amount of talent. Of course, we're going to look at Mikhail Clark, who's not his eligibility's done,
right?
And then Kevin Greenhow, who's going to be going on to play college football next year. There are some replacements. It's not going to be easy transition, and in a 2-year situation, it's kind of like college basketball with the one and done. You don't have a lot of time with them. They got to be players right away.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of the one of the things about the junior college game is the quick turnaround. You don't really get a chance to spend a lot of time with these kids, like you said. 2 maximum 3 years if a kid would take a red shirt. So,
right.
A lot of new faces out there for Hocking this year.
Right, and we've being relatively new to, like you said, a nice little wheel route to number 3 out of the backfield for Hocking.
Got on him a little quick. Couldn't bring it in.
Now, Michael Stanley, who's the quarterback, was here last year. He was Mikhail Clark's backup.
Right.
And so we'll be taking a look at him. And he just threw a wheel route to a familiar name for us, Jesus Himes, who we saw last fall.
Yeah, Jesus, one of the few returners that Hocking has back this year.
So we would expect to see him a lot today as far as getting a lion's share of the workload.
Yeah, that's right. If anyone would know the system, it should be Mr. Himes.
Yes. And so they've got 3-by-1 formation here for Michael Stanley. Himes in the pistol. Stanley drops. He looks. He goes deep to the middle on a post route to number 23. And that is Michael Walton, a wide receiver from Spain Park in Hoover, Alabama.
Yeah, so quite a trip for Mr. Walton to make it here to Hocking College.
Wonder if he's a Tide fan.
I think you pretty much have to be.
I guess if you're in Alabama, you have to be, right?
That or Auburn.
Yeah, oh, yeah, could be a Tiger. Could be a Tiger.
War Eagle fan.
Yeah. Troy State, possibly.
Possibly.
Or UAB Blazers.
Could be again. That's
right.
Yeah,
they could be again.
Could be again.
That was an off and on thing there for a while.
So again, like we mentioned, just starting off with some 7-on-7 action here. For those not familiar, 7-on-7, you just take away the offensive lineman with the exception of the center, and really gives the offense a chance to focus on individual routes and get a look at coverages that without really worrying about a rush.
That was Justin Thompson came in for a rep at quarterback. He is out of Gahanna Lincoln High School in Columbus, Ohio.
And we're very familiar with that area.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, but like we talked about, great that these kids have an opportunity to be able to stay in state.
Right.
And attend a junior college.
Right. 3-by-1 formation. Thompson looks, pump fakes, drops it off short to number 7, Christian Estes.
Yeah, and Christian Estes, also another Columbus product out of Westerville South.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Matthews and his staff recruited Columbus pretty hard because we see 6, 7, 8 players from Columbus just on the offensive roster.
Yeah, up and down the roster. A lot of Columbus kids.
Yep. 2-by-2 formation. Thompson in the pistol. Looks it over. Calls for the ball. Takes his drop. Looks. Woo! And that was a nice job by the linebacker, number 10. I think that's Victor Vixata. Or Vanden Vixata, sure is.
Right, and Vixata, one of the few returners, I believe maybe the only returner on defense, did a nice job dropping into coverage there and just kind of got lost and looked like the quarterback never saw him.
Yeah. The only one that I see on here, Chuck, is Lavelle Seiler, also from Atala, Alabama. And he's one of the returners, one of the few, as Chuck said. We see Drake Fleet, number 4. He's from Dallastown, PA. He's also a returner.
Right, so I believe that is it, just the 3.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But it's kind of nice to have 3 linebackers coming back, Chuck.
For sure. Thompson whips one in there, but again, falls incomplete. Didn't get the intended receiver there.
And usually in 7-on-7 situations, they'll give them a certain amount of plays to, complete. And then they'll go to whoever their backups are in that. And that's pretty much what we're seeing here.
Right. In fact, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're just operating off a script here.
Yeah, and that's probably what they're doing.
Looking at different packages they want to get a look at. And
Ooh.
a lot of traffic there.
Yeah, well.
Probably a throw you wouldn't make in a game-type situation, but on the 7-on-7, you try to the threat is not there. You're going to force it in there.
And I think the other thing you see there is your spacing with your receivers isn't as well timed up when you only have like 15 days of practice.
Right.
And, you're coming towards the end of the year with finals. So, it's a tough time for kids to get out there.
It is spring ball. That's what you get. So, Going back with Stanley here, you get a wholesale change of the offense.
Yep. And we're going to see 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, pistol formation again. And Michael Stanley gets ready to call for the ball. And there's the snap, takes his drop, he looks. Ooh. And how that was not picked off, Chuck, I'm not quite sure. But
very close there. Good break on the football, just overplayed it just a bit.
And we will get the name of the receiver on that here in a second. And that's, I got 0-0 on there, Chuck, but I'm not quite sure who's 0-0.
The only 0 on the roster is Dennis Smith, wide receiver out of Flint, Michigan.
And maybe that's that's him.
Maybe single 0 and double 0 are the same animal.
And it could be. Unless you're Jim Otto. So I showed my age there, Chuck.
Yes, you did.
2-by-2 formation. Stanley takes his drop. He looks to the middle. Picks up number 87 on that route.
Boy, big number 87, Brandon Myers, tied in out of Mansfield.
Yeah, nice. That's a nice target to have in the middle of the field.
Yes, it is. That's a big body. Can use that to shield defenders and run somebody over.
And then, if you've got a small safety, that's a big task to ask him to bring that kid down.
Yeah, I don't think too many too many safeties in this league are going to want to tackle him one-on-one.
I don't think so. So we've got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, pistol formation. Stanley gets ready to call for the ball. There's the snap. He takes his drop. He looks. He's running. All
right, intended for number 13, Jeremiah Williams.
And just threw a simple fade up the sideline, but underthrew it a little bit.
Yeah, really nice job by the press coverage there. Number 12, Robert Osby out of Pick North out of Columbus. And, again, nice press man coverage there.
Yeah, Osby did a nice job. And so Hocking comes out in a 2-by-2 formation, 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left.
Check that. That may have been 27 Deshaun Walker on the coverage. He's a corner. Looks like 12 is the safety.
And then we've got Michael Stanley's talking to his tight end there, giving him some instructions as he gets ready for the snap of the ball. There's the snap, little play action. He rolls to his right.
Yeah, Justin Thompson, the intended receiver.
And it was a nice little comeback route there.
Receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Just a little underthrown. Couldn't come back all the way to get underneath that one.
Yeah.
But again, like we talked about earlier, a lot of that is going to be timing. That'll be timed up better in the fall.
Yep. Yeah, the route was pretty good. If the ball had been a little bit higher, he would have a better shot at making that catch.
Definitely.
Okay, Stanley looks over to D. He's got a 2-by-2 formation. Again, standard pistol with the tailback at about 7-8 yards deep. Stanley drops. He looks for a post, which one of two, there's some miscommunication there. Either he was supposed to run that a little deeper on that, Chuck, or Stanley just threw it away because he saw the coverage.
Yeah, and Jeremiah Williams was a receiver there, but he was running into double coverage there.
Yes, he was. Stanley might have just tossed it.
Yeah, the underthrow probably wouldn't have been a good option there, and just put it where nobody can get to it.
That's a difficult thing for quarterbacks too, especially, coaching on the high school level, to make the kid understand that an incomplete pass is not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Throw it away. Don't take the loss of yardage. Okay, so we get
3-by-1 look here.
Yep.
3-by-2, empty backfield, 5 wide receivers.
Yep. And that is Thompson is back in a quarterback. Ooh, and he goes underneath the number 30, Deshaun Waters.
Quick slant. It looked like it just got on Waters a little too quick. Number 11
from Columbus,
Jeremy Williams from Whetstone on the coverage.
Yeah, and that is Waters is out of Columbus Mifflin. So another Columbus.
Those guys have probably lined up against each other.
Yeah, they probably played it. Yep. A 3-by-2 formation for Thompson. 3 to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Thompson takes his drop. He looks to the middle and picks up number 26.
Yeah, Tyson Miles, the receiver out of Briggs, so another Columbus product. But
and again, a couple kids that probably hooked up against each other in high school.
For sure.
Looks like they may be changing up the formation here a little bit. Okay, we got 3 receivers to the left. Nope. Looks like you're going to go decide to go by 2-by-2.
Yeah, 2-by-2, pistol formation.
And Thompson gets ready for the snap. He drops. He looks. Goes to the middle to number 1. Nice throw there. That is Darquan Saunders.
Yeah, out of Toledo Scott.
He did a nice job. Saunders did, using his body to shield the defender, Chuck.
Yes, he did. Again, with that deep post there, you had double coverage, but you're right. He used his body and shielded the ball from the defenders.
And the only thing the safety could have done in that situation is interfere with him, so that that worked out well for them. 2-by-2 formation again, pistol. Thompson drops. He looks. And again, wow, that could have been, in a real game, that could have been a devastating situation there for Michael Walton.
Yes, it could. Let him a little bit into the coverage there. We've seen a lot of combination, a lot of crossing routes here so far today.
Yep. They had the what we refer to as the All-American route with the double post there, and looking for the trail man.
Right.
And and I'll tell you what, that number 27, Deshaun Walker out of Cleveland East Tech, has had done a nice job in the secondary for them.
Yes, he has. Little swing out to number 26, Tyson Miles, again, out of Columbus Briggs.
Yep. And number 12, Robert Orsby has done a nice job there, too, patrolling the middle of the field. There's not been a lot of open throwing lanes, Chuck, to the middle. I would say from a coaching perspective, they were kind of forced into those situations.
Yeah, I would agree. And again, defensively, they're giving them a lot of different looks. Again, we've seen the press coverage. We've seen man under to the zone, and we've seen just some straight zone. But again, like you said, not a lot of windows out there today.
Number 1, Darquan Saunders again from Toledo Scott with a little dump off by Thompson, and then Michael Stanley and the band is coming back in right now.
Yeah, we're going to have a wholesale change, a lot of changes on defense, and again, like we said, Stanley and the other offensive unit are all on.
And for those born after 1990, Michael Stanley used to be a singer.
Yeah, again, I wasn't born after 1990, but I'm still not familiar with him.
That's right. I wasn't born after it either.
Sure.
Rick lends a little commentary out there from his DJ days. 3-by-1 formation. Stanley back at quarterback. A little flare by Himes, and nice.
That was
clear.
nice.
Yeah, that was a very nice route to number 7.
Was. Yeah, Christian Estes, again, another Columbus product out of Westerville South, and again, they have a 3-man combination route. You've got all men running drags across the field, and Estes just found that hole and got to it.
And check the running back. That was Alexander Hocking from Briggs. And when they ran him on that little flare route that drew the linebacker out, which opened that crossing route for Estes.
Another 5-wide look here.
Stanley's at quarterback, 3-by-2. He takes his drop. He looks. And a little out.
A little comeback there. 13, Jeremiah Williams again. Cleveland Central.
And one thing there too is
little chippiness between the teams.
Nice to see a little.
They must be
out there.
They must be playing for something here.
You think they're brothers?
Yeah.
Well, 24 is Gilbert Whiteside out of Arden, North Carolina, so I'm guessing there's no previous relation, but.
Might have become adopted.
Well, they just introduced each other, right?
That's right.
Might have become adoptive brothers here during the spring football.
That's right.
Okay, so we've got a 2-by-2 set. Michael Stanley in the shotgun. Looks it over. And, nice ball by Stanley.
Yeah, boy, real nice throw.
Hooks up with number
Ronald
6.
Kennedy out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I'll tell you, really a blown coverage there. You had, Stanley had his choice. He had wide receivers deep on either side of the field.
You think they're running towards the camera? He ran right up to the camera. That's good.
Everybody likes to be on film.
Everybody likes to get their face out there and get a little exposure.
I love it.
The big boys look like they're getting ready to rev it up here, Chuck. So I think we're going to get some actual football here.
Going on here today.
It's great to see some football in the spring. Of course, the Buckeyes finished up a couple of weeks ago with their spring game, and
yes, they did.
And if you've been in a hole and haven't noticed, ESPN's been playing a number of those spring games that have occurred throughout the United States.
Yes, they have. The Big Ten Network is a good place to check the Buckeyes. They've had that recast several times.
Chuck, what's your opinion? Is it going to be Joe Burrow or Dwayne Haskins?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I'm going to go with the Urban Meyer answer and say that I have not yet decided who's it going to be. But that's the thing.
Well, B comes before H.
Alphabetically, you're right.
That's
but,
true.
what an embarrassment of riches for Ohio State to have to worry about that, to have that kind of problem. Of course, the thing about Joe Burrow, he's worked so hard to get himself in a position where, and
he brings great leadership.
That's right. That's right.
The players seem to rally around Burrow when he's in.
That's right. What I was going to say, is that, he said publicly he doesn't want to leave, but he's put himself in a position where, he does want to play, and he sat for a while, and, if the decision is made, he very well may end up at another school. But
and being a redshirt junior, he will graduate this year academically.
Right, he'll graduate this spring and be able to be a graduate transfer and not have to sit out.
Right. And Nebraska, of course, has been on the radar. I mean, his dad coaches in Athens, so OU has been brought up.
Sure.
There's a number of places, Florida, where they've had a coaching change down there. And, of course, you would expect, Dan Mullins coach for Urban Meyer at Florida.
Right.
And so he's probably thinking if Joe Burrow is good enough to play for Ohio State, can probably play for us.
That's right. Yeah, and again, like we said, Joe, local product out of the area here. And,
Yep.
A lot of fans around here in the local area would love to see him be able to suit it up for the Buckeyes this fall. So, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and I just hope Urban it gives Burrow that opportunity. I mean, if he really believes that he can't be the starter or, for whatever reasons, he makes that decision.
Right. And I think, history has shown that Urban has a history of that he'll be honest with the kid and let him know, what the situation is, and we'll have to wait and see what happens from there.
The one thing I fear, Chuck, is you saw this happen with Cardell Jones. He had a flash of glory there, leading us to the national titles. But we both know, being former coaches, once you start getting a book on a quarterback and can figure out what he's going to do, it's a lot more difficult to play the position.
That's for sure. And I think, give Cardell a lot of credit. He's obviously a great talent, but you're right. As teams started to figure out what his skill set was and what he was good at and where he struggled, his productivity did decline.
And, let's not underestimate the value of Devin Smith to the Buckeyes in that situation, too.
For sure. He was a guy that was pretty hard to out-throw and couldn't hardly throw it over his head. So,
right.
When you got a cannon like Jones did, it was a
perfect
match made
storm
in heaven.
came together then. So we'll see what the Buckeyes do, but we're about ready to start the Hocking College spring game officially.
Right. So, again, just a quick recap. We're going to have two 12-play drives here in the first half. Offense is going to look to get a first down in 3 plays. That'll earn them a point. Defense gets a 3-play stop. They'll gain a point. So let's get ready to go here.
And, Coach Matthews is just taking a look, looking it over, and probably has got the coordinators doing this, so he just gets to be the CEO and just watch things and evaluate the talent.
That's right. Good day to get a look at a lot of different kids in a lot of different situations that you're not going to get on the practice field.
Okay, so Michael Stanley is going to get the start there. We've got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, tight end to the right. So we're a 3-by-1, and it looks like they're going to go with Jesus Himes on that. I think that's Himes. It might be.
Yeah, I believe so. I have to get up number 3. That is Jesus Himes. So, again, like we talked about, one of the few returners here. But, we got a chance to watch Jesus last fall and, kind of a scat back type jitterbug back there. And
he's a Maurice Jones-Drew type of build there, low to the ground. And, and he can pop through that hole before you know he's there.
That's right.
So we've got second down situation. Of course, we're doing 12 straight plays here, so the down and distance doesn't really matter at this point.
Except for the points.
Other than the points. And Stanley throws it to who we believe is Dennis Smith.
Yeah, the 00 on the jersey, but 0 in the program. So, but, again, kind of let him in. And we've got a player shaken up there. It looks like it's number 5, Kyrie Lockley out of Baldwin, Louisiana. Kind of slow to get up, but collects himself and looks like he's going to go ahead and stay in the game.
Chuck, we look at that. We got players from Georgia. We've got players from Louisiana, Alabama. A lot of Southeast flavor on this Hocking team.
That's for sure. Okay, it looks like, we are going to get a stoppage here. And
they're going to take a look at him.
Yeah, Lockley is going to end up coming off, it looks like.
He might as well be dinged a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want anyone hurt right here in the spring game.
No.
Yeah, that's right. No reason to take a chance on anything. And in a game situation,
or a stinger.
Play stop like that, he would have had to come off anyway. So.
Yeah, he's holding his back, so maybe he just got a little stinger in that. And
looks like we got 18 Xavier Simmons, another Southeast player out of Sterling, South Carolina, checks in the game.
There you go. So we've got a 2-by-1 set here, and Michael Stanley drops it to the big tight end, number 87, and he gets whack-oled there.
What, knocked his helmet off.
And I believe that's going to be some points for the defense on that.
That's a 3-play stop right there. So that's a one-point defensive win right there.
And that it was number 87, Brandon Myers out of Mansfield, Ohio.
Yeah, he did take a shot there.
His helmet came flying off,
Sure
Chuck,
did.
when he got
Sure
hit.
did.
So Gold gets a point.
The Gold gets a point.
1-0 defense.
So the defense is in the lead.
And, it's not uncommon
No.
at this point in the season that your defense is going to be ahead. Where defense is
You're
more
right.
about reacting,
Absolutely.
where offense, the timing.
Yeah,
Like we
absolutely.
talked about, these kids have had, 15 days of practice.
Right.
It's hard to get your time up in 15 days.
And you see that a lot with this type of situation.
Sure.
I mean, the defense is just read and react type of things, where offense is a lot of timing and coordination, which
Right.
it's just hard to get in the spring.
And like we talked about, not only that, but we've got so few returners that, a lot of these kids,
Yeah.
this is the first time they've really played together in a game situation.
Very true. So it looks like we're in a 2-by-2 formation. Oh, no, so we were a 2-by-1 to the left.
Yep.
And Stanley is, wow, I think that is Vixata, who is all over Michael Stanley before he even had a chance to move.
Yeah, and again, Vanda Vixata, returner out of Kathleen, Georgia, with a nice blitz right up the middle. And, yeah, really nothing that
He got a
nothing
great
that
jump on
Thompson
that
did.
football,
He
Chuck.
sure did.
Stanley was about back in his drop when Vixata was all over him.
That's right, Vixata was ready to take the hand off of him.
Yes, he was. Okay, so again, power back to the left of Stanley. Oh no, we've now got Justin Thompson in. Thompson takes a drop. He looks, goes deep, and it's picked off by number 7 of the defense.
Yeah, 7, Andre Chandler Jr. out of Warren, Michigan.
And Chandler's coming back.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to blow it dead. Say it was.
So that's a
would have been
turnover for the
touchdown by
defense.
contact, but that's right. So that's going to go down as another point there for the defense, I would assume.
Yep.
So it's 2-0.
Yep, 2-0. And I've been impressed by the secondary, even in 7-on-7, Chuck, before they added the front 7 up there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we mentioned. There just aren't a lot of windows out there.
No.
And, again, the quarterback trying to overthrow number 7 Chandler Jr. And again,
Yeah.
doesn't look like that's so easy to do.
Yeah, that was some nice coverage there. The deepest man always wins that one, and
That's right.
Chandler was able to pull that off.
And so they're going to stick with
Justin
quarterback
Yeah,
here
Justin
with
Thompson in the pistol with an offset power back, and he gives it to number 6, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and again, 6, that is Miles Lane out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Played at Nash Central High School.
And then, we talked about the Southeast flavor. There's another one, South Carolina, North Carolina. Nice job by Coach Matthews, really hitting that eastern half of the United States, and especially the Southeast, where, the football's definitely of interest to a lot of people down there.
That's for sure.
Okay, so we've got 2 to the left, 2 to the right. No, we got a power back in, I'm sorry. I formation, and they give it to, I think that's number 6 again.
Yep. And
Miles Lane.
Bill, I want to take a second and just mention a player that you and I both couldn't help but notice when we watched warm-ups. Big number 75, Dario Tribble, newcomer out of Thomas Worthington up in Columbus.
And we don't have his physical dimensions here on paper, but
I'm going to give you a.
He's bigger
one
than
right
a bread box. Is that what you're saying?
He is big. I'm going to say that. He is.
his size estimate is large.
That's right. Put Bill on my shoulders, and we might look eye to eye.
Yeah,
We might look eye to eye.
We might.
He is a large man for sure.
Yes, he is.
And
sure, Coach
again,
Matthews is happy to have him on that right side.
That's for sure. Got him playing right tackle right now, and
they've got the power back right behind him, so that almost leads you to believe they might be going off tackle
might
there.
just run behind that big boy.
I
That's right.
was thinking that's what they're going to do. And,
play
the
action.
Boot by Thompson. Thompson's got a receiver open.
I'll tell you what, 18 Quan Laguerre, boy, he was wide open right there.
He
Bill.
kind of slowed down. I think he thought he was going
to.
Yeah.
I think he was afraid he was going to overrun the pass, and
Yep.
kind of had to put on the brakes right there. But
Nice arm by Thompson, though.
Yeah,
He got the ball out there.
I'll tell you, the corner there bit hard, and let Quan run right by him there.
Yep.
Looks like that was 27 Deshaun Walker again out of East Tech. We've already seen Deshaun make a couple nice plays.
Yeah, we have.
But I believe that was him.
Yeah, number 27, I believe. That's
yeah, that is Deshaun.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have a change of quarterbacks again. I believe Michael Stanley is going to come back in with an, and they're
so do we have 3-0?
Yep, 3 defensive scores so
right.
far, and
Okay.
and the offense has yet to gain a first down.
Although that was close to a 6-pointer there, is because that Laguerre was just wide open on that.
Yeah, that's right, and they're not going to miss too many opportunities like that, I wouldn't think.
I mean, those are the type of things when you look at the film, even though you don't see 6 points up on the board. The defensive coordinator's not happy about that one, and the offensive coach say, okay, we timed that up. That's 6 points for us.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like we talked about, those are the kind of things that you're going to look for in a spring game. Not necessarily that you complete that play, but that the potential's there for the fall that that could be a breaker.
Yep. So a little break here in the action from Poley Field here in Nelsonville. And Chuck, it's a really nice setting here. As we've got.
Yeah, it really is. Right behind us is the Hocking River, and this has a really neat old feel. You can tell there's
quick dip.
Well, we were thinking
a little cool for that.
We were thinking if they have a
water skiing,
a crew team, you could just turn around and you could do the crew.
Right. You could use the same press box for the crew.
Yeah,
skull.
Yeah, sculling. Yeah, there you go.
But like I mentioned, this really has a neat old
setting
feel.
to it. Yeah.
Classic football. Bill, I don't know if you've ever been to Portsmouth Memorial Stadium down there on the river, but kind of a similar
where the Detroit Lions.
No, that was the Portsmouth Tanks.
Okay, before they became the Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions. Yeah. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I have. Now I have not been to the stadium. I have seen it from
kind of a similar type setting.
Yeah.
Right next to the river.
And they have similar problems with flooding down there, too.
Yes, they do. In fact, Portsmouth High School, just when they built their new high school, built a new stadium right at the school. So I don't know who, if anyone, is still using that facility.
And a nice facility down there.
Oh,
I think
beautiful.
Portsmouth Notre Dame is using that facility.
You know what? I think you may be right.
I think they're playing there. Now, of course, we had the opportunity a couple times to go see Shawnee State play, Chuck. And nice. They have a very, very good women's basketball team. And Rick and I had the opportunity to go down and do a few games this year, and we're looking forward to next year because they should be pretty strong again next year. So, taking a look at Hocking's schedule while we got a moment here is, and we'll be coming out with the Campus Nation Game of the Week schedule here in the near future. So we'll obviously have Hocking down there as one of our Game of the Week teams.
Yeah, that's right. We were here a couple times last season for the Game of the Week.
Yep. On August 25th, they have a scrimmage with Cincinnati Christian. On September 1st, they play Erie Community College here.
That'll be here at Nelsonville York High School.
In Nelsonville York. Then on the 8th of September, they're at Wheeling Jesuit, which we understand is
new program this year.
New program.
What we've heard, so that should be interesting.
They're off on September 15th. They come back. They travel to Asa College in New York, and of course
that was our last game of the week last season.
That's right. Yeah.
Asa College, they came into Nelsonville and showed that they are firing on all cylinders.
Yeah,
they went on to win a bowl game, it's our understanding. So that was a very complete team. But again, Asa, a relatively new program too. But like we talked about last fall, kind of gives Hocking a look and a view of where they want to be and where they want to get to. So sometimes even though you get a big loss like that, it can be a learning experience. And I'm sure Coach and the boys are going to look for a little bit of revenge come this fall.
Okay, we're back to action. We'll get back to the rest of that schedule here in a minute. A little jet sweep action.
Quick whistle, though.
And I think there was some movement on the line there.
Yep. So the ball carrier there, quick handoff to number 9, Brian Mariner Jr. out of Queens, New York. So, again, a guy that probably knows exactly where ASA College is.
Yes, he probably does. So they're going to get to repeat that one. And so Michael Stanley there is getting the information from the sideline. He is in a 2-by-2 set. And the offense is yet to get a point up on the board. So I think that's going to be the goal here, is to move the ball a little bit here, Chuck.
Yeah, I would agree.
Little motion, bubble, and The ball is given to number 15.
Yeah, that's Quayshawn Thompson out of Pittsburgh. Played at Southside High School in Pittsburgh.
And Quayshawn picks up a little bit of yardage.
Yeah, nice little dive up the middle.
Yeah, nearly 5 yards. So, I guess from a running standpoint, that's encouraging to see to move the ball a little bit on the ground.
For sure, and we have seen some holes up front, so they haven't been able to pick up a lot of yards, but the offensive line is getting some movement, so that's a good sign for the Hawks.
Yeah, when then there's some big guys up front for the Hawks.
For sure.
2-by-2 formation. Stanley takes his drop. He looks over the middle. And it's picked off by number 4, and that's going to be another point for the defense.
Yep, Drake Fleet returns it all the way for a touchdown.
And Drake is one of the experienced guys, Chuck, we had talked about.
Exactly. So touchdown defense. So that's going to push it to 4-0 for the defense.
And, it's one thing I've noticed about the defense, Chuck, is the linebackers have been very active. And, of course, we did mention that that's the most experienced spot on the defense returning.
Yes, we did. Real quick, too, I got a minute. I want to mention a couple of those other guys up front. Number 68, Deshaun Ray, the other tackle, big left tackle out of Maumee High School in Toledo, has done a nice job so far. Lined up next to him, 55, Trevon Etter out of Laverne, Tennessee. And
Trevon, I think Trevon's one of the returners on offense.
I think we saw that. Yeah, that's right. And trying to get a look here who the center is. And
okay, we've got a 3-by-1, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Stanley loses the handle on the ball, and number 66 comes pouring in for the gold.
Yeah, our center 66 don't have a name on the roster to go with him, but
we don't have a name there. Now that could be Dante Carter from Taft High School in Cincinnati. We don't have a number on him. So I'm going to say, since he's the only defensive lineman that doesn't have a number, that was probably number 66.
Yep. I'm talking about 66 in white, the center, or in white and blue also.
Okay.
Not on the roster, so.
So there's no 66s out there, even though we see
Apparently
them.
not, that's right, yeah.
It's kind of like when Ohio State and Penn State played and they both vacated the victory, or the game.
That's right.
Stanley drops, 3-by-1 formation. He looks deep to number 13. And that's, again, some double coverage there by number 11.
11, Jeremy Williams, and 13, James Ledyard on the coverage there. And, again, like you said, really just know where to throw the ball. Just putting it up for grabs there and trying to make something happen there.
Yeah, you're going to have to fit that one in to get that throw. And that one was the defense was all over it. And, again, the defensive secondary, hats off to the Gold. They have done a great job.
Yes, they have, without a doubt. And like we talked about, not to be unexpected at this point in the season.
Right. Okay, so we've got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. We got a little jet motion. Handoff, a face mask there.
Yeah, that was a face mask.
That was, so.
To number 9.
Yeah, again, that's Mariner Jr., the young man out of Queens, New York. Went to the Campus Magnet High School there.
Yep.
And so
he'll be glad to bring his head back on that one.
Yeah.
Since it didn't get ripped off.
That's for sure.
It did twist a little.
It did twist a little.
One of those pretty hard to miss.
And now, is that a point for the offense?
I was just going to ask you, do you think that is?
Must
it looks
be.
like it does, because that is that would be a first down by a penalty. So
yep.
they are going to count that as a 1-point gain there.
Yep.
So now 4-1 in favor of the defense.
Okay, Michael Stanley is looking at a 2-by-2 set from the pistol. He looks, he gets the ball, and he gives the ball to Himes. Oh, no, that is not Himes. That is number 4, Hawkins from Briggs. Yep. Alexander Hawkins, number 4.
And again, just want to give a shout out to the last offensive lineman, 71, Quintavious Turner. Big guard there out of Malden, South Carolina. So, again, like we talked about, they've got some size up front this year, so hopefully they can make some holes and keep these quarterbacks clean. Just the coordination part of it with the line. And, again, that takes some time, and Coach will have the 2-a-days going in the fall, and he'll get them timed up. 3-by-1 formation. Stanley gives a little quick screen to number 9. Yep, play action pass, swings it out to number 9 again. That's Mariner out of New York. And Mariner is able to squirt forward for maybe a yard or 2. Yeah, give the defense credit there again. They were out there pretty quick on him, and you've got number 51, Tamar Miller, as in on the play there. Okay, so Stanley looks at Coach Matthews. He's getting his call. I guess Coach Moore's calling it. Craig Moore, the offensive coordinator, I believe, is calling those.
Okay. So Michael Stanley's looking. We've had a stop in action here. 4-1 in favor of the defense here at Poley Field in Nelsonville, Ohio. A nice day for football.
Yeah, a nice cool day. Almost feels like a fall day.
It does. I was just going to say it's very similar to a October day. And we've got a 3-by-1 set, 3 receivers to the right. Stanley handles a questionable snap. And number 13 breaks it out for the offense. He cuts back across the field. And Vanden Vixata forms a wall there for him to run
Vixata
into.
formed up on him nicely right there.
He put a nice hit on him.
He sure did.
And that is, we've got, let's see, number 13.
Yeah, it's Jeremiah Williams, wide receiver out of Cleveland Central.
Yep.
Another Ohio product.
Yeah, Cleveland Central Catholic, whose fortunes have got better here in recent years up there, as they really had a period of about 20 years, Chuck, where they were not very relevant. But they are back on the map. I think they even made the playoffs this year.
Really?
Yeah. 3-by-1 set, 3 receivers to the right. Michael Stanley in the pistol. Play action. He looks in the middle. He's got a post route, and no. Overthrows Mariner, number 9.
And again, Mariner had a step. He was open.
Brings that down a little bit, Chuck, and he could be running right now to the end zone.
That's right. He may still be running.
He may still be running.
All right, so looking at the box, looks like, is that another defensive win? And it is. We've got
5-1.
5-1.
5-1 for the defense. So
yeah.
See if they reset it here, if they just stick with.
You know how to add the point
with 4th down.
You got a 5-1.
5-1. So.
All right, so they are going to go for it here on 4th.
Stanley has a back offset to his left. They are in a 2-by-2 formation. Stanley gets the snap. He drops. He's under pressure. He steps up in the pocket. And a little bit short of the first down.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite.
Well, they may get. Maybe they're going to give it to him because
looks like that may be a spring football spot. But
I would agree with that one.
Go ahead and move the chains.
So it's 5-2 now, right?
5-2.
Right,
give the offense a point. There we go. And now, as we talked about with this first couple sets, basically it's 24 plays, and then we're going to hit a halftime situation. So we will be getting close to that here relatively soon.
You haven't been keeping count, though?
I've not been keeping count. I apologize for that. Well, yeah,
is that like the score to the hot dogs?
It's the off season, so
we would keep count of the score of the hot dogs.
we can do that. Okay, we got a pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Stanley looks, takes the snap, he drops, he looks, pressure again. Wow, Stanley's still going. He's up to the 50, over to 40, and he's touched about the 43-yard line. He is in the gold territory.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to number 22, Prince Benson, out of Northmont High School, out of Dayton, and he did a nice job there. Nice inside move on Big Dario Tribble that we mentioned earlier. He's giving him some trouble out there. Again, Dario's showing that he's maybe a little susceptible to that inside move. Big man got to keep working on his feet.
And I would make this assessment of that situation, and they did not give him the first down on that, but he would have been taken down. There was 3 gold jerseys right around him, and I think they let up because they've been told, the red jersey doesn't go down.
Red jersey means do not touch.
Right. But it was a nice defensive pass rush, and Stanley had nowhere to go on that.
And again, I don't know if we mentioned it before, but as of right now, there are only 2 quarterbacks in camp. So to lose one to a silly spring game injury on a contact drill would not make much sense. So
no, not at all.
Again, they're going to let up on those red jerseys, like we said.
Yeah.
And, of course, you're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. We've got probably How many minutes to halftime? Yes.
Well, they're doing by plays.
I'd say not very many more.
Yeah, there's supposed to be 24 plays in the first half, so we're pretty close on that.
In fact, we may be there right now.
That's
it
what
looks
I'm.
like we are. We've
I'm
got
thinking.
a stoppage, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and give us the thumbs up. It looks like we're at halftime.
All right.
Okay.
So
let the competition begin. Huh?
Let's rush to the food.
Well, and we've got the a little halftime competition.
Yeah, we'll put the
kids' longest pass, longest punt, and fastest kid, and then we have the women's longest pass, longest punt, and fastest woman.
All right.
So we will be awarding those here pretty soon. But yeah, a little halftime action.
This is a halftime. We're having halftime competitions for kids and women. Longest pass, longest punt, and the fastest kid.
Well, I'm going to run down, guys, and I will be right back. Here. I'll take this with me so it doesn't blow halfway across the Hocking River or into the Hocking River,
which could easily happen
which
today.
would be worse.
All right, so again, we're going to take a quick break, step away here for halftime festivities, and we'll return with the second half.
My name's Giles, and we're going to be doing halftime show. Look, I'm going to need any kids come on over. You're going to you can us longest punt and this. So kids, come on over. I don't think there's many kids here, so you stand a good chance of winning a prize. Swing that leg around. That is. T-shirts, umbrella, fanny pack. I'm gonna come down once. Maybe if he was down there, I'd try it. Connor? What school do you go to? I just flashed out. Logan Elementary? London Elementary. I'm from London as well. That's a coincidence. And Quentin, what's your name? Fantastic. Are you ready to win a... Right. Kids. Okay, it looks like we got a couple more kids coming. Come on over, kids. You want to win a prize? Kids, come on over. Now, if you don't come over, you're not going to win a prize. How we do? You ready to win a prize today? Are you good runner? What's your name? Aiden, and where'd you go to school? Alexander, my kid's going to Alexander. Fantastic. Who we got here? Come on over, bud. Love the shirt. What's your name? Scott. Where do you go to school, Scott? Go to Alexander as well. And so we got some runners here. We've got some throwers here. How you doing? What's your name? Caitlin. And are you in school? Are you married? No, you're not married. Oh, okay. Oh, they're all coming out now. They're all coming out now. Come on over, guys. Who got? Cahalia, are you in school, Cahalia? Where do you go to school? You go to the big school. say, Coach? I think this one, this line, to the 40. Okay, we're going to do this now. All right, here's what we're going to do. You know, you've got to make sure you stay behind the line, and in a moment, I'm going to say ready, set, and then I'm going to say go, but not yet, not yet, not yet. Okay, then you're going to run to this line right here between me and Coach Matthews. Okay? First person, we'll probably do fastest boy, fastest girl. Yeah. Okay. And that person's going to get a prize. So get ready. Okay, get ready. Ready, set, go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. We've got a guy here, and we've got a young lady right here. So let's see. Bring our two winners over here. But stick around, because we're going to have some other things for you. So let's see. I'm going to grab some prizes, or should we do the prizes at the end? Should we do prizes at the end, Coach? Is that how they're right there? Right there in the white bag. All right, so we're also going to do longest pass, okay? Longest pass, but the coach has gone off with the ball. There you go. He wants it for himself. I think the coach wants to win all the prizes. That's how it is. All right, so let's see. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to step this line, whoever can furthest, and we're going to go with the first bounce. All right, so let's all make a line. Make a line right here, and we're going to see who throws it the furthest. So come, get in line. Yeah, stretch up, loosen up those arms. Let's see a little of this action. You've got to loosen up a little bit. You can throw it either with one hand, or you can throw it two hands, either one. All right. You ready? You sure you're ready? She's ready. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's a good throw. That's a good throw. I think we should recruit this guy right here. Recruit him. All right. So again, we're going to do, oh, good throw, right here. All right, that's the fast, longest. We'll allow the roll. Okay, we're allowing the, all right. That's all right. We'll figure it out. You've got to hold the ball, both hands, and then you crouch down, and you're going to throw it. Throw it as fast as you can. Imagine it's like homework, and you want to get rid of it. You just got to figure it out. So, I tell you what, Coach, can you show her how to throw it? You throw her. There you go. You think you can do that? I think if you give it a go, that's how we learn. See? You got to.
Fella.
You want to see your brother do it first? Okay, brother. Show her how it's done. Stand on the line. Stand on the line. 1, 2, 3. Oh. And there's a good throw. And we're allowing the roll, right? Okay. So he's right there. Do you think you can give it a go now? You want to give it a try? I think you can do it. I think you can do it. You're 5. Done it when you were 4. But you can do it now you're 5. 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, almost. There we go. It's right there. You got it to the line. That's not bad. Next year, you'll be winning the contest. Okay, so it's Quentin. Come on, Q. Show us how it's done. Fantastic. Good throw. Got it over the line. Excellent job. Right, this guy, we may have to clear the cars out the line. Okay, 1, 2, 3, throw. Oh, look at this. We got a professional. We got a coach. Sign him up. Sign him up right now. Okay, fantastic. All right, we got another big guy here. Whenever you're ready. 1, 2, 3, throw. Fantastic. We got strong arms here. Is that a new winner? Okay, not quite, not quite. All right. Did everyone's been once? We get one. Okay, all right. We'll get prizes at the end. Now we're going to do the longest punt. So set us up here. Set us up for the longest punt. So this is a kick, and it's whoever kicked the ball the furthest. So, coach, is he good? Coach Moore's ready. Coach Matthews ready. Ready, set, punt. Good kick. Made the line. Got it over the line. Okay, so remember we're kicking. Okay, this is a kick. Kick this time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we missed the shoot here, but that's okay. That's okay. Maybe next time. Okay, we've got a 5-year-old here. She learned to throw. Can she learn to kick? They're going to throw instead because they don't have their cleats on today. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you made the line. Made the line pretty good. Is sister going to give it a go? Sister's not sure. I think she can do it. Now remember, if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're probably right. Fantastic. We got a good throw, almost to the line. All right, coach, let's line up 20. Okay, cute. Are you going to kick it or throw? He's going to throw. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Over the line, almost to the second line. Must make the 30-yard line. Okay. Now you going to kick? Okay, looks like you've got quite a foot there. 1, 2, 3. Oh. We need this guy. I bet we got another good kicker here. All right, he's going to show us how it's done. Ready, set, punt. Not bad, not bad. Hit the third. Cleared the 30-yard line. Everyone's been through. Okay, so it's prize time. Let's see. Let's grab some prizes right here. Okay, you're going to get your prize. Headline. We'll get. And at this point, I'd like any ladies, girls, anyone of the female persuasion, come over here. I need ladies. Usually I'm fighting them off, but today I can't seem to attract them. Ladies, come on over. There we go. We got some brave ladies right here. Girls, come on over. Oh, here we go. I got 2 here, 2 here. I got another one right here. One of, sorry, what's your name?
Janelle Washington.
What do you study?
I'll be medical assisting in autumn.
Fantastic. What's your name?
Savannah.
What do you study, Savannah? Okay, and who we got here? What do you study?
Chef Cloud, y'all. Come tomorrow.
What kind of food are we going to have at your restaurant? What, where's your restaurant going to be? So our first restaurant is going to be in Columbus, and after that, the chain will be everywhere. Fantastic. Okay.
Come work for me too.
This is gonna the boss right here. So I know who you are, but these folks don't. What's your name?
Lorraine Williams.
Lorraine. And what you study?
Childhood.
Fantastic. Where you want to work? Anywhere where they'll give you a job, right? Okay. Who we got here? What you study, Shania? Business. What kind of business you want to go into? Own your own store. And what's your store gonna sell? Don't know? All right. Okay. Who are you? What do you study? Accounting. And you want to do like tax stuff? That's not my thing, but I'm glad there's people like you out there. Who we got over here? Are you competing?
No, I'm just,
You don't, but you'll compete? Fantastic. What do you do?
I'm an accountant.
Oh, you're an accountant. Well, we've got someone here who needs a job.
That's where the money is.
That's right, absolutely. Who we got here? Melissa, what do you do, Melissa? Housekeeping? Do you like it? No? Well, maybe we should sign you up for school. What do you say? What would you like to do? Oh, no? What would you do if you had all the money you wanted? How would you spend your time? No idea? Well, come in and see us. We'll sign you up. All right? Who we got here? Cora. And what do you...
I didn't touch it. No, I didn't.
That's fine. You can fix us some dessert. What's your favorite dessert to make? So do I. So I love it a little too much. All right. So we're some different events here. We're going to start with the run. You don't have to do all of them. You can pick and choose. Anyone doing the run, line up right here. Oh, okay. We're going a little further back. Go on. Okay. You can pick and choose your events, okay? You don't have to do them all. So behind the line, and you're going to run to Coach Matthews. Coach Matthews is used to having a lot of women running towards him. So don't worry, you won't scare him. Here's what we'll do. In a moment, I'm going to give you the ready, set, go. And it's whoever gets between Coach Matthews and our other coach first, okay? So, behind the line, you're running. Behind the line. All right. Ready, set, go. Look at them go. We've got some runners here. We really do. We've got some runners here. Coach Matthews used to women running at him. I'm used to women running away. So let's see. Did we have a winner? So we're just waiting on the drugs test, and if that comes back clean, you're going to win a prize. Winner's right here. Craig Moore, he's going to hook you up with a prize right here. So next up, we've got longest pass or longest pass. Longest pass right here. All you've got to do is throw it. Now, are we going with lands or where it bounces? Okay, no bounce. So it's where it first hits the ground. Okay? So, ready, set. Whoa, right on the line. That's not bad at all. All right, next throw. Do you think that? You think you that? No. Do you think you can get further? She thinks. So ready, set, throw. Not quite. Not quite, but a good try. All right, next up.
Yeah.
She's going to show us how
I
it's
didn't go
done.
back down. Gravity didn't affect me.
Beat the hat.
Oh, Cody went out there.
Ready,
That's pretty cool.
set, throw.
Did you check out the food situation?
Not bad. Not bad.
We should get something over there.
Okay, on the line.
This up.
Ready, set, throw. You go. Still can't beat that first throw. Ready?
Good.
Everyone's giving it a go.
It's hard to run both the camera and this, trying to switch.
Set,
Right?
throw.
I'll make sure to have 3 cameramen every game.
Close, but not quite. Okay, we have our master chef.
Yeah.
Oh, we're having a read. Ready, set, throw.
Hopefully they find something.
We got a new winner. New winner. Can anyone see that? Okay, Master Chef. Whoa! Out the park. Amazing. Amazing.
Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
She's
I get a call. I'm over there eating.
okay. You think you can beat that? I
Going
think
to
I
college, and he says, "Are you coming?"
Ready, set,
I said,
throw.
I call him. I say, "Mitch, did you remember I'm in Hocking
Pretty
today?"
good. That would have been a winner.
He says, "Oh, that's
And
right."
she don't.
What, you had softball game
They
today?
got a
She said,
double
"We're
baseball
back."
game today. This is their
Back.
senior.
Okay, we're gonna see how it's done.
Can't go 2 places at once.
Yeah.
New winner.
Hey, I think, hey, Rick,
New winner.
I think you found a new camera guy there, huh?
I said he's been taking acting classes or something because he's really getting into it.
All right. Ready, set, throw.
Tell you, it's a good restaurant.
We figured out the right line. Okay.
It's like a
Ready,
mom-and-pop
set,
place.
throw.
And these guys were telling us to stop.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Hey, TJ,
All right.
what's the name of the little restaurant
Who
down
hasn't
here that you
been
guys
yet?
told us about?
Raise your hand if you haven't thrown
The one
yet.
that we took you to?
Throw it
No,
up.
no, the one that we,
Doesn't count.
it was like a mom and pop.
Oh, Tammy's.
All right.
Um,
Yeah, it's on 33.
they're actually not open on
The
Saturdays.
team.
Oh, they're not.
Or no, they're not open on Sundays. I think they may be open on
Do we have
Saturdays.
long enough time?
We went
for
there
the
when we came
longest
in that
punt?
day.
Right.
That
Yeah,
was
okay.
pretty good food.
We're
Oh, I
gonna
love
do
it
the
there.
longest
Yeah,
punt
yeah, it was good.
with the ladies, and then we're gonna
Good recommendation on that
to
one.
the game.
Right. Well, you'd been there before, hadn't you?
My wife and I had stopped
So
there, but
who's
we
in
tried
for
something
the
else, and then
longest
Rick
punt?
really liked it, and my son liked it, and yeah, it was
Well,
pretty good.
hopefully they're open today.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll
Longest
patronize
punt.
them again.
Clear the field.
We were actually
Ready,
when we were in there, the
set,
manager wasn't
punt.
there. Rick and I were
Put a
talking to him
punt.
about putting up screens.
Excellent.
Yeah, because they
stuff.
got like the football jerseys and stuff up. So I know
Right.
they like the hometown kind
Let's
of
go.
sports
Atmosphere.
teams.
What's
Yeah.
it again? What's the name?
Tammy.
Put some leather behind that ball.
It was,
Ready, set,
Good food.
punt.
good service.
Not bad, little high. Little high, but it works. Okay, next one. Ready, set, punt. Oh, we got a new winner. New winner. Fantastic. All right, who else? Ladies, don't be shy. Okay, ready, set, punt.
Over there.
Oh,
Guy
I
in the
see.
gray jacket.
I think she's trying to take out Coach
Is
Mann.
he a professor?
don't know in what. I think in missions.
Take out Coach Man here. Ready? Set.
Yeah.
Punt.
He's the pine at some other places though, closer to
Little
home.
spin on it there,
Yeah.
but it's good. It's all good.
How many years does he have in?
Okay.
I think he said he's graduated high school
Punt.
like 4 or 5 times at this point. How many years he's been in?
Good kick. She's giving us
He's probably got about 10 years to go still.
All right, next up, do we have any other punters? Looks like we do. Come on, show us
Might
how
not have been that
it's
long.
done.
I guess. Well,
All
no,
right, are
'cause
you ready?
his first year was my
Ready?
kindergarten year, so
Set,
this is probably his 14th or 15th year, actually. Now that I think about it.
good kick. Good kick. Need a little more power to win.
Now what's Vickers? Did Vickers, he just retired?
All right,
He
Has
retired from
everyone been?
coaching. He's working at Swan.
everyone's been,
Where I graduated,
and we
yeah.
have a winner.
What's he doing? Is he
We
He's-
do have a winner.
He is working with like the special needs kids.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he works
You don't
kind of.
want enough
I think he's
prize?
based in Swanton, but he works with like a lot of the kids in the county.
Y'all got some money? She's got a gold dig right here.
I heard his name the other day. They were talking about Toledo, St. Francis. And I heard his name come up as somebody that they were interested in. Now, whether he's interested or not, I don't know. But
Right.
when St. John's opened up, I also heard his name there, too.
I know that Matthews wanted to get in contact with him and get him
Well
down
done.
here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
Whether he'd
ladies
wanna
and
make the
gentlemen.
move
Thank
down
you.
No, I don't think he does. He's pretty much done from what I
Win the
hear.
game. Thank you.
He's put in his time.
Takes its wear and tear on.
Oh yeah. Takes a lot from your family too. Good to get out of it when you're still got a couple years left.
Yeah, for sure. One-hand catch by a quarterback there.
He's made a few of those. That's one.
So they got flags.
Yeah, I think so.
Getting serious now.
Okay, we're back here for the second half of the Hocking College spring game between the gold team, which is the defense, and the blue team, which is on offense. The first half we saw, and again, the scoring system to refresh your memory on that, Chuck. You want to run that down one more time for
Yeah,
him?
during the first half, Bill, it was three plays on a first down was a point for the offense.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Three
this is
plays,
starting of the
a
second
three-play
half.
stop for the
Early
defense was a
scoring.
point for them. So now we enter the second half, and in the second half we're going to have two 10-minute running quarters. Again, the blue team, the offense, is going to score with 2 points on a first down. Field goals obviously worth 3, touchdown 6, PATs 1.
3 points.
Gold, the defense, 3 and out will be 3 points. A fourth down stop will be 4 points. Turnover will be 6 points, and again, PAT is 1.
Yep. So that's how this half will go. It was 5-3 in the first half. The gold squad, which is the defense, beat the offense, as the offense was able to pick up some first downs towards the end of that first half. Yeah, we're reset. This is going to be a 10-minute continuous clock, and we will have 2 quarters of this.
So I think we're going to have to pay our cameraman extra for this one. The way he was running around here, he probably expended a lot of energy.
Shout out to Cody Schweitzer, his first effort here as our Campus Nation cameraman. And,
I almost threw up. I was a little dizzy. Sometimes it was a little bit, but he was. You give him an E for effort. Huh?
Yes, we do.
All right, so 1st and 10 here.
So Michael Stanley at quarterback to start out. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They're in a pistol formation. And 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Stanley calls the signals, gets the ball.
Corner
Little play
blitz.
action fake and hits 0, which
Yeah,
is
Dennis Smith.
Yeah,
Out of Flint, Michigan.
yeah. And we believe that is, he has 00. We have not established that yet.
Yeah,
but
we're missing a 0 somewhere, but
we
and
thought
again,
maybe
Hocking, true to form, right back on the line,
Yep.
no huddle.
2-by-2. Stanley, I actually would say 3-by-2. Stanley in the no back, and a first down for the offense. And just like that, Chuck.
Yep, quick pass out to Mariner Jr.
Yep.
No chance to run after the catch. Had to go down to get it, but
And that's going to be a first down.
and 2 points for the offense.
The offense is Stanley barks out the signals. Looks like they're in a 3-by-1 set, 3 to the left. And pistol formation in the backfield. He looks, a little swing, a little bubble
pass.
type of screen. Oh, and he completes it. And it's number 23.
Yeah, that's Michael Walton again, the player from Hoover, Alabama, out of Spain Park High School with a nice move out
Well,
there.
that did not have a good start on it, Chuck.
No, it didn't, but I'll tell you, he made something happen.
Hits the quick screen to Walton. Walton spun backwards. It looked like it was going to be a couple-yard loss and turned it into a 20-yard gain.
That's right. I'll tell you, that kind of game-breaking speed there. I'm sure Coach Matthews and the offensive staff's excited to see that.
Likes to see it. Okay.
So 4-0 now with the offense.
Okay, Stanley is calling out the signals. He's got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Pistol in the backfield. And they are just making some adjustments. I don't know if it's a football adjustment. I was wondering if it was a personnel adjustment there.
Well, you do need a football to play football, Bill.
9 times out of 10 you do.
Certainly comes in handy.
It does. Just got to make sure it has points at both ends of it.
You know I'm great at stating the obvious.
Rick likes to get that 2 cents in there every now and then.
I got to remind people there is some relevance in Rick.
Just going to leave that right there.
Yeah, thanks, Chuck.
So, again, first down here for the offense.
3-by-1 set. Stanley looks, pump fakes, and he is
And he's going to be sacked there
brought
by
down
number
by
22. That is, again, Prince Benson, the defensive end out of Northmont High School in Dayton.
yeah,
A thunderbolt.
a
Northmont
thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt. That's right.
And Prince has had a pretty nice scrimmage today. He's applied a lot of pressure to the quarterback.
Yes, he has. He's been in the backfield a lot. And like we talked about, he's really using that inside move well, using his quickness and first step to get around the tackle there and take that inside path.
Okay, so we are looking at a 2-by-2 set from the pistol. Michael Stanley is faced with a 2nd and 15, a little jet action, and give to number 3, and that's Jesus Himes. And that offensive line road graded on that, Chuck.
They sure did, like we talked about, even in the earlier portion, that the offensive line has really opened some holes up, and Jesus had a lot of room to run there.
7 yards for Jesus, and it's 3rd and 8, which goes from a real long situation to a makeable possibility as they've moved into the gold territory down to about the 37-yard line. So this is probably 4 downs here, I would expect.
I would think so, especially given the
circumstances.
Right.
Yeah. A little play action fake, a little quick out to number 9, Mariner again.
Mariner, and he's getting a lot of action today.
And Mariner, he's serving that possession receiver mode, and you need those guys for those 4, 5, 6, 7 yard gains, and he's been able to do that.
Yes, he has. He's chewed up a lot of yards, like you said, just a couple at a time.
Yep. 2-by-2 set. Stanley again in the pistol, and it's a first down for the Blue. Blue gets ready to take the snap. And give it to Himes, and Himes keeps the legs churning all the way up to about the 20, 21, 22-yard line, pick up a 6.
Just running straight downhill again, a lot of holes there for the offensive line.
Nice run by Himes.
Yes, it was.
And that offensive line, as Chuck alluded to, that's a big bunch of beef right there up front.
Yeah, those are some men up there, that's for sure.
There's no doubt about it. Stanley drops it off on a little bubble screen to
13, that's Jeremiah Williams out of Cleveland.
Jeremiah Williams takes
finally drugged down by number 24. That's Gilbert Whiteside.
Nearly to the 10. Looks like the 10-yard line, Chuck, and we might have our first and goal situation here.
Maybe so.
I would say it's maybe just outside the 10 because they're moving the chains.
Yeah, it looks like they could still get a first down and not score.
Probably
about the 11.
Boy, about the 11. As close as it could be on that one.
10.5, maybe.
Yep, 10.5. So they're looking for the call from Coach Moore. Coach Moore gives them the signal. Stanley tells the offense, we've got a little offset I formation to the right. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Stanley, and a little movement. A little early motion there.
Little flinch there out of the offensive backfield.
And that's going to cost him a little bit.
Well,
it's against the defense.
I didn't see the defense.
Must have been a neutral zone infraction.
Got a little encroachment there.
Yeah. I'm sure the offense will take it.
Gotta hate when you get that encroachment stuff. And so we got 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Again, an offset eye situation.
And Bill, I think they've dropped the chains over there. It looks like it is 1st and goal.
And it is. And
Himes up the
Jesus
middle
Himes
for a touchdown.
powers into the end zone. That was a nice drive, Chuck.
Yes, it was. That's going to put the offense up 14-0 with the PAT still to come. Of course, PAT is going to be attempted by number 27, another Northmont Thunderbolt here. Jonathan, I apologize, but I'm going to try to say your name here. It looks like Maruzis, possibly.
Yeah, Maruzis. And we have to say that last year, extra points
We're not. They were like hen's teeth.
Yeah. They were an adventure a lot for Coach Matthews.
Yes,
and
they were. So we're going to have a non-live kicking
there you
situation
go.
here.
That is something that I'm sure they're going to put a lot of long hours in and correcting that situation.
Good snap, good kick.
And Maruzis
1 point.
pounds it through, so it's 15-0, Chuck.
Yeah, so after a slow start in the first half by the offense, they come out firing on all cylinders and jump out to an early lead here over the defense, over the yellow squad.
I like what Stanley did there. He spread the ball around, good running attack, nice balance, and boy, that's what you like to see in a spring game.
Yeah, it really is. And like we talked about, it's not surprising that the offense would be a little behind, but I'll tell you, they were firing on all cylinders here in this second half.
That was a different offense than we saw.
It certainly was.
Yeah.
Of
course, when you have a scripted 12-play thing, Chuck, you're not always trying to look at situational
that's right.
stuff.
You're more getting a look and trying to figure things out, but you're right.
Yeah.
Situationally, the play calling is a little different here in a live situation.
Yeah.
So, but the Gold's going to look here to get a stop here now with the second drive here and see what they can do.
And I would expect, Justin Thompson is going to be the quarterback with the second set.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Coach. He's leading them out there.
Yeah. And we're seeing some different jerseys up front, Chuck. Looks like we've got a couple different kids. Not completely, but it looks like got a few kids there up front.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, Bill, that I would look to could become a factor here. Some of those big men up front are going to get winded here.
Yeah.
They're not used to playing back-to-back series like this.
Yeah, and that's one thing that as you get into the fall, you hope that you bring in a little depth on that offensive line because, as you said, those big guys can get worn out a little bit. I think, Coach Matthews loved to get in a situation like they had with Lewisburg College when we saw them, as they were constantly by a series
changes up front.
Rotating people. Offset eye again for the offense. Justin Thompson gives the ball off.
Little give to number 6. That's Miles Lane, running back out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Good fake.
Nice little run up the middle.
And starts out about the same as the Blue did last time.
Yep, so looking about a second and about 7.
Yep. And I would expect you're going to see a similar play selection thing. So when you're comparing apples to apples on the plays that you're looking at, you're going to be able to say who performed better on these particular plays.
Yeah, exactly. And they want to get a look at both quarterbacks and just see what they're going to look at coming into the fall.
Yeah, we got a shift.
Okay, so shift back to the original formation, the last play.
And we've got a shuffle motion to the left. Thompson drops, gets it out to the big tight end, number
Brandon
87.
Myers, again, out of Mansfield with a nice little pickup.
Yeah, and Myers is an immense man there. He's a big kid for a tight end.
Is. Coach, they've got him listed as also as a halfback. He's played a lot of H-back today.
Yes, he has.
I'd hate to see him coming downhill out of a tailback situation.
Yes.
Like we talked about, he is a thick man.
And we're going to see again, offset eye to the right, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Thompson looks it over, and I would think we're probably going to see a little more power ball here.
That's exactly what we get. Again, another run by Lane right
could
at the
be
middle.
a first down, I think.
I think we're going to be just short, Bill. It looks like
he's indicating.
4th and about. Did they? Yeah.
I thought now are they going to?
Yeah, he's indicated.
First down. Okay.
Okay, so another spring football spot right there. I think. But,
well, that cost him $20 that time. That was 20. That was 20
bucks. The kid shook his hand with the 5 there and said, "Here you go."
Well, these don't mistake anything that these kids are playing for pride today.
That's true. So we've got a 3-by-2 set. Again, a shift.
Another shift back into that offset power I formation.
Yep. And Thompson gets ready. A little shuffle motion to the left. And no, the defense has got it.
By the defense and
number 22 for the defense. the gold.
Yep, again, that's
Prince
Prince
Benson.
Benson.
Did the quarterback make the tackle?
I think he had
I
to
don't
in that
know.
situation.
Yeah, he might have, but just not a clean handoff there. Looks like the ball got left on the running back's hip, and
So the defense
it's
picks
dropped.
up a few points on that one.
Yep. So again, turnover. That's going to give the defense
A 6-pointer.
yeah 6 points, so the equivalent of a touchdown. So defense answers.
Yep. And in these type of things, when you do this, it's really a lot more difficult for the defense to accumulate points on this type of.
It really is, Bill, and that's one of the struggles of dealing with these spring games is that you try to find a way to make it competitive to keep the kids interested,
Right.
but it can be tough sometimes.
Yeah. And if you make it too tedious, it's hard to keep track of.
Exactly.
Okay, Thompson drops again. He's getting flushed out of the pocket. He rolls to his left. He looks, and he thinks better of it as he slides out of bounds for a short pickup.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the big 66, one of the D linemen that we don't have a name for, with also on the play there, finally wraps him up.
So a nice gain, which looked like it was going to be maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and picked up a 5-yard gain on that, Chuck.
Yep.
So Thompson gets the
From those markings, I think it was only a 4-yard.
a 4-yard gain. Yeah.
From the markings.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Rick-
4.5.
Rick's getting the micrometer out there. Or did Chuck gets a little more technical. Okay, shift formation, offset eye. We've got a little shuffle motion.
High snap.
And Thompson keeps it himself after the snap. And as
Gonna be
quick
whistle
whistle.
dead there.
So about a 2-yard gain. Well, that was like 1.75-yard gain, I think, on that one.
7-8.
7/8. Yeah.
The 44-200 Reynolds out of Cleveland Brush on the stop there. Looks a little shaken up. Arm hanging, may have a stinger. Runs off the field, so he's going to be replaced.
And Brush had one of the top programs in Cleveland this year. So they have had a good run of success after years of dormancy. Empty backfield. Thompson gets it out quick.
Yeah, quick throw.
I
and
think
a-
it was that Mariner that I don't know.
No, Mariner's got a red helmet, so that's not him. But that may have been Miles Lane there.
Yeah, they got it out quickly and nothing to show for it. So it's 4th down and a couple yards.
Yeah, and if that is Lane, whoever it was, just let the ball get into their body and.
Yeah, I
didn't
think
really
he
get a
wanted
chance
to turn
catch it.
and run too, Chuck, before
Yeah.
he really had control of it. We're going to get a number. I think he's coming off here to the sideline, and we
Got a new
we'll
quarterback.
make sure we ID him right. Well, number 30.
Standing behind somebody
It
else.
is
now.
number
That is-
6.
That is Miles Lane.
Yeah, Miles Lane. Okay. So they reset the downs, and the defense has picked up another point.
Yep, so we're going to have, again, quarterback switch, like Rick mentioned.
Yep, Michael Stanley is in. 2-by-2 set for Stanley from the pistol. He looks it over. Little motion from right to left.
Jet here to the outside, number 16.
Wow, a little speed right there, and that looks like it's good for a first down,
Yeah.
a pickup of 11.
Ronald Kennedy there out of Fort Lauderdale showing a little bit of that Florida speed,
Yeah,
Coach.
yeah, he was around that corner.
Yeah, and Ronald.
Speed State right there.
Yeah, Ronald got around there in a quick way and was able to pick up a quick 11, Chuck.
I'll tell you, Ronald is not a very big man, so he,
No, he isn't.
he
He
better
is-
be quick.
yes.
He does not have a lot of size.
That is true.
We don't have any heights and weights here, but I can tell you he's not very big.
Right. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Stanley gets ready to take the snap. He looks, guns the ball downfield to number 1.
Yep, that's Darquan Sanders, again, out of Toledo Scott. Nice little pickup.
Darquan, good hands, spins it up for a few yard gain. And the offense is starting to march again. It's 19-8. Okay, Stanley gets him ready. They're in a 2-by-2 set. Pistol in the backfield. Stanley says, hurry up, let's go. We want to get on the board again. And we've got motion from
motion
right
again.
to left. And give to number 20. Is it 28 or
Yeah,
20?
that was 28. That's Kieran Mathis out of Detroit, Michigan, Chandler Park High School, and he just got met.
Yes.
I don't know who he ran into, but
Probably Vanden Vixata.
Yeah, that was my guess too, Coach.
Yeah.
But,
He seems to be around the ball quite a bit.
yes, he does. And like I said, as soon as he hit, then the forward momentum stopped.
Although I will say this, there was a good solid run though. I mean, he was.
It was. He hit the hole hard.
Yeah,
he was
he did.
coming downhill hard when,
Yeah.
like I said, his momentum came to an abrupt halt.
And there's A little play action and dropped off.
Nice. Again,
To
Saunders out of Toledo.
Saunders is able to get the ball down to about the 12-yard line.
Nice run after the catch. Started with a great play action fake. Sucked up the linebackers, the safety, that let Saunders get in behind. And
Nearly
nice
a
little pitch and
50-yard
catch,
gain on that.
Yeah, yep. Very close to a touchdown.
Yep. So that's going to be first down, as we say. It looks like just outside the 10 again.
That's going to push it to 21-9 for those keeping score.
Yep. And we've got 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Back is offset to the left of Stanley. Stanley gets the ball. He looks, a little pressure.
Yeah, big pressure off the edge again. And guess who?
Yeah.
Guess who? Number 22. Prince Benson out of Dayton.
Yeah. Prince, as we said, has had a pretty nice spring game. He's going to be pleased with his film when they break that down next week.
Yeah, he's really shown some things to the staff here today, hasn't he?
Yep.
Good first step off the line, come off the edge. He's come underneath. He's come outside. Done a lot of nice things well.
So 2-by-2 set again. Same set as we saw last time with the back offset to the left of Stanley. Stanley gets ready for the snap. Motion right to left. Little fake on the jet motion.
Yeah, almost a zone read off that jet motion.
It looked like a zone read.
I think he did read it, Coach.
I think he
could
did.
be wrong, but it didn't look like just a design keep.
He was just looking for those linebackers just to step a little bit, and he saw enough to decide to pull it.
And I'll tell you, if nothing else, that's a nice setup by the 16 Ronald Kennedy, like we talked about. If he can use his speed, you can fake off that all day.
And you got the defense thinking about him because that first play or second play of the drive, he picks up 12 yards on the jet sweep.
Exactly.
So we're at a 2-by-2 set. Stanley again with his back to his left side.
3rd and about 6 from the 8-yard line.
Stanley drops. He looks. He dumps it off. Ooh, tried to go to the running back on that.
Yeah, a little swing pass attempted there from Mathis, but it didn't look like, I don't know if he didn't step into the throw, but just fell short.
Well, yeah,
Mathis never had a chance at it.
Yeah, the timing on that was, that's a nice play too, especially if you get a back that can catch the ball in the backfield.
Yeah, that swing pass can be dangerous in that situation, no doubt.
If you get the defense conscious of, defending the deep ball, boy, you can drop that off for nice gains. Of course, we saw Ohio State do that with Zeke there quite a bit.
Yep, and it was there. So looks like we're going to get a quick break in the action for a field goal here. Field goal attempt again by
Morosis.
So again, another player out of Clayton Northmont there, out of the Dayton area.
And Morosis is...
And that's good.
Okay.
So again,
he's
things are looking up here at Hocking on the special teams front.
That's right.
2 for 2 in their attempts, 1 extra point and 1 field goal, and it pushes out 24-12.
See, we may get a slight break in the action, like we talked about. These offensive guys aren't used to going series to series, so
yeah. And I would not be surprised too, Chuck, if this might not be the last series overall, because Stanley's had 2 drives, and if coaches like to keep things equal, I would suspect that we might see Thompson with another drive, and that might be it for today.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of good looks on film for sure.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure they've gotten to see what they wanted to see. So you're right. I wouldn't be surprised. But, we'll see. We're supposed to have two continuous 10-minute clocks. So.
Well, they're flipping it. So.
Face paint and get brochures and everything you need. Go by the picnic tables and enjoy yourself.
All right. So, again,
That's free.
Kind of a fun carnival
I like that.
atmosphere.
Free.
FREE.
Sounds like
hamburgers,
free food,
hot dogs,
and
cookies,
face painting for the kids. So.
Well, yeah, Bill can get his face painted.
That's right. As our good buddy Dave Parrish used to say, anything that's FREE, it's got to be good for me.
Well, Charlie Hargrave says that.
Does
too.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows every free place there is.
Isn't that always the motivation to do the remotes?
That's right.
If there's a free dinner involved, Charlie's there.
All right, so again, if we do have any listeners in the immediate area, get down here to Poly Field, and we've got a few minutes of football left here. Again, you can enjoy the, like I said, the almost carnival atmosphere, the free food, the face painting. We've already had the competition for the kids, but
a lot of fun today for everybody.
A lot of fun. That's right, and they've done a really nice job here of making this a kind of a family-friendly, fun event for everyone. So.
Okay.
We've certainly enjoyed our time here.
Justin Thompson's back. He's got a 3-by-1 set. They've flipped the field deep. the offense is moving from left to right. Little bubble action.
Fake screen.
Picked off by
Picked off
number 7.
Number 7, that's right. And 7, that is, again, Chandler Jr. out of Warren, Michigan.
It's been pretty active today.
And, he took a shot there at the end by 26, but
4 points for
Tyson
defense.
Miles, but that, again, another turnover, so that's going to make it 24-18 offense.
Tightening up, Chuck.
Sure is. Gold team is certainly making a stand. They're making a statement.
And that's one of those read routes where you bubble the back out of the backfield. You watch the outside linebacker. If he goes with the bubble, then you look for the slant coming on the inside.
Yeah, and you can tell he never went with him.
No, he didn't. He was standing right there. So we've got a 2x2 set. Justin Thompson with a pistol and a left to right motion and all sorts of mayhem on the inside there. And Vanden, again, Vixata is right in the middle.
Total breakdown up front on that, Bill. You've got 3 or 4 gold jerseys in the backfield, and really no chance for the quarterback to make anything happen there.
And Chuck, you made a good point about the lack of depth on the offensive line in this scrimmage. And these big guys, you can practice all you want, but it's a lot different when you're expending the energy of playing in a game.
Yeah, that's right. And even a spring game, the speed is going to be up from, even your one-on-one scrimmages in practice.
Right.
So you're exactly right, Bill. That it's going to take a toll.
Yeah. 2x2 set. Ball is given to 15 to Quayshawn Thompson. And
Pittsburgh, product out of Pittsburgh.
Quayshawn's had a couple carries today. Shout out to all our viewers back in Jeffersonville and the Wilmington area. And Chuck, we've got a nice schedule coming up this year for the game of the week. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. We've got a 2x2 set.
It's another third down here. Big play for the defense. See if they can't get a stop.
Thompson is in a pistol, a bubble by the back again. He steps up nicely.
A nice move, but he's going to be drugged down there, and it's
number 10, I believe. I think it's the same. Is that Vixata? No, yeah, it is.
It is Vixata again.
Yeah,
Vanden Vixata.
And Thompson, that was a nice step up there. I mean, I thought he was going to go a lot farther than he did.
Yeah, that's right. Again, it looked like at the beginning he was just trying to climb the pocket and look for a throwing lane, but nothing there, so he just tucked it, and
Mr.
Vixata made it disappear quick.
Mr. Vixata, that is his area of the field.
Yes, it is. Claiming some ownership out there.
Yes, he did. 2x2 set. Out of the pistol, Thompson drops. He looks, shuffles, and gets the ball across the middle.
An absolute bullet, Coach.
Yeah, about a 15-yard gain there.
Yeah, and again, that was Tyson Miles right there again out of Columbus Briggs, and he takes a hard shot right in the back.
And Miles got popped.
Yeah, he did. And
right at about the 50-yard line.
Kind of rolling around in pain a little bit right now, but again, took a good shot right to the kidneys there. It looked like, Coach. So not going to feel too good.
And we have a Blue Knight on our platform here. Did you know that?
We do.
Yes, we do.
Who's the Blue Knight? Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was telling him we're going to be doing some games.
Yeah, quite a few Urbana games this year. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, so one of
our
we'll
get to see out there. Yep.
Heading up to Urbana. So
yep.
Just like we talked about, great opportunity for these kids from this area to get to
for sure
to get to make it out.
Yeah. And of course, Urbana, we don't have the schedule set yet, but we could see them at 3 or 4 times this year potentially,
especially in the evening.
Yeah, because they have 3 night games to start out with. Yeah. Okay, Thompson drops the ball off to number 4.
Number 4 again. That's Hutchins out of Columbus Briggs. Again, Hutchins, kind of that low squat body, gets in there and can hide behind those big linemen.
A nice jump cut there, Chuck.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Bill. A la Pittsburgh Steelers, right? The old jump cut. Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. Le'Veon Bell, who doesn't ever run directly towards the line of scrimmage until he jump cuts somewhere. And
That's right. Yeah.
Didn't have to worry about that quick start that way.
That's right.
Okay, so you got the offset eye to the left. Thompson talking to the offensive line, making a few changes there, checks off. Receivers 2 to the right, 1 to the left. The back steps up. And, a little play action.
Little slant there.
It's a fumble, and it's picked. number 18 for the Gold picks it out of the air. That is Xavier Simmons.
Yeah, Christian Estes, with a nice catch on the screen. But
The
just didn't get
DB
on top
out
of
What do we got going on here?
Hillcrest. Whoa, and we got a little action going on.
Yeah, a little competitive spirit out there.
A
in the spring
little
game.
chippiness in the spring game.
Who says this doesn't mean anything, huh? Who said this doesn't mean anything? Don't tell these guys that. So that puts the defense up 27-26.
Well, you know what it is the winner gets steak and the losers get hot dogs.
Okay.
how that works?
Yeah, that's what Urban used to do. He still does, I believe, when they do that.
Now, there's no Buckeye Grove here, so I'm not sure what the other punishment is.
Yeah.
Not like at Ohio State.
Yeah, that is a little different. Well, you might get to swim in the Hocking River here.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
And with that current going the way it is, you better.
Some years that might be a reward, but given the temperature today, that would not be. Not be so today.
That would not be. So, yeah, we offense has to move the ball back to the 30 after a turnover. A nice drive there by Thompson. He had led the team down the field, and really wasn't his fault. Number 7 for the offense got popped.
Yeah, that's Estes, again, out of Westerville South. And, he caught that slant and just barely had his foot in the ground, made a move, and like you said, just got hit. And that's, in the slant, when your body's turned, you're not going to see all those guys at the angles, and that's exactly what happened. Just a reminder, you got to tuck that football
Ball
away.
security.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Michael Stanley back at quarterback. And we've got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. I think we've got had a pistol formation, and the defense comes
breakdown
raining
up front,
in. And is that our number?
I think that might have been number 22 again,
I
Coach.
think it is. I think it is. And
our Dayton product, Prince Benson.
oh, wow.
Coach, we have had one change on the offensive line. Looks like Big 71 Quantavious Turner, a little necked up on the sideline, getting looked at by the trainer.
Yeah. It's been a long day.
It has. Like we talked about, those linemen are working hard out there.
Yeah. Big guys, they wear down pretty quick.
They sure do. I speak from experience.
Chuck endorses that statement. And we've got a 2x2 set with the back offset to the right of Stanley, a little flat route by the back. Stanley reverses his field. Oh, and
again, another breakdown
and
up
is that
front.
number? That might have been.
Well, I think the primary pressure
came
from. Yeah, the primary pressure came from 15 Giovanni Mathis, another player out of Scott up in Toledo.
Yeah.
But, I think that might have been 22 in on the action. But
and it was also number 85 there.
That's big Courtney Ledyard out of Shaker Heights.
Yeah, Courtney walled it off, and Stanley had nowhere to go. And
I just kind of built the wall out there and turned it back in.
He sure did.
Which is exactly what you want out of your defense.
You do. Okay, so we've got pistol formation, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stanley drops. He looks. Little
screen.
Quick screen. Oh, and I would bet that is number 15. I was going to say Vixata, but
that's Giovanni Mathis again with a nice play.
Yeah,
there.
Giovanni's making a name for himself there.
Yes, he is, showing the coaches something here today.
He sure is.
Game. And Giovanni out of Shaker Heights.
Yep.
Cleveland area product. East side, I believe. Is that right, Bill?
Yeah. The Red Raiders.
There you go.
So we have a little slowdown in the action. The score is, wow, the defense has been able to take the lead here.
Yeah, 30-26 D.
The defense won the first half, and they're threatening to win the second half
Gold
here.
might be polishing their steak knives here.
They might be doing that. Bring plenty of A1.
That's right.
I'll take a baked potato with some sour cream there, and we'll be ready to go, Chuck.
Sounds like a plan, Bill.
Yep.
Looks like we're about ready to get back to the action.
Yep.
So
3 receivers left.
3 by 1 here.
Yep, 3 by 1. Pistol in the backfield. Of course, we've seen a little shifting going on with this, but not this time. Stanley drops, and there's a blitz. And number 15 just comes off the edge. Giovanni Mathis, who's had a heck of a second half here.
He has owned this series here, Bill. He really has.
Yeah. And Giovanni is from Toledo Scott.
Oh, sorry. I think I misidentified him as being from Shaker earlier. Yep, Toledo Scott.
Yeah. And, Scott all due respect, great basketball is not really
Excellent
known,
basketball program.
not known
Yeah.
for football up there though, and so Giovanni has come out and he's doing the. Is it the Bulldogs? I think it might be the Scott Bulldogs, but I'm not sure.
I think you're right.
I'll
Yeah.
go with that. Sure, sounds good to me.
The Scott Bulldogs. Yep. Okay.
Apologize for our listeners in the Toledo area.
Yes, if we got that wrong.
If they're really the
And
Celtics.
It's Mariners up 10,
off the
15, 17-yard game.
Nice. Picks up 17 before finally number 4, Drake Fleet's able to drag him down.
Yeah, and that was a little jet action by Mariner, and he just turned it up, got north and south real quick, and
Again, another good positive sign by Mariner, showing that he's going to have an impact this fall.
he sure is. So you got Walton and Mariner split to the right, 2 to the left. We've got jet motion left to right, and whoa, met by number 33. That was
That's big Michael Harris out of Gahanna, and
yeah,
I'll tell you, Michael's not letting him go anywhere there.
and that was Kwan Mathis from Chandler Park, Michigan, running the ball, and he wants to know what the license plates number was on that truck.
Yeah, that's right. At least get a piece of him, guys.
Yeah. So it's a 4th down situation here. Offense is faced with a must convert, or else the defense is going to start getting in the situation, because offensively it's a little bit tougher when you got to put touchdowns on the board for most of your points.
That's for sure.
And they got a timeout here, so the Blue is going to talk it over as we move through the 4th quarter here, Chuck. And it's been entertaining here at Nelsonville with watching the Hocking spring game.
Yes, it has. Again, we got to look at a lot of new young players. Like we talked about, not a lot of returners, and that's part of what you get in the junior college game. But even less, I would say, than a typical year. We've only seen, I think, three names we recognized from last year.
Yeah,
so,
it's a big turnover. And, of course, we talk about game of the week. We're going to see Hocking several times this year.
Right.
We're going to be traveling to Cleveland to do some Baldwin Wallace games.
Right.
Malone College will be up at the Hall of Fame again.
Yep, up at Tom Benson.
Tom Benson. So we're going to be up there. Central State, as we were there for homecoming, which was
Right, that was a fun day.
That was
fun. To get back there.
it was a fun day up there. And, of course, Urbana at this point, and we've got some feelers out to some other schools we hope to hear from. So the Game of the Week program is going to be full of action and some good football again.
Without a doubt.
So,
And, of course, we've got Wilmington College.
we got Wilmington College. And Wilmington's included in our Game of the Week when they, we try to select night games,
I
prime
think the
time.
night game this year is Capital, I believe.
Is it?
I think
What was
so.
Capital last year,
Yeah,
too?
yeah, I think that.
Yeah, and that
Well,
was
then
that.
it can't be, because Capital would be away.
Yeah, it would be
Home and
away.
Right.
That was that overtime game we saw last year where
Right, where they Capital
the
pulled it out.
Quakers were able to get their second win of the year there,
Right.
and that was a pretty exciting night there in Wilmington. Coach Brian Moore really has the program turned around there.
He does, yeah.
He's got the kids believing. I heard from Alan King that it's been a good recruiting season for the football program. And, give Coach Moore some time, and he's going to get some quality football players in there.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
they've
you're
got
right.
over 100
Yeah.
that on the team. I mean, they've not had those numbers for a long time.
Yeah, that's exciting for sure.
Yeah.
And, that's the thing. When you're a Division III coach, you're looking to bring in 80 to 100 freshmen, because by the time they're seniors, if you've got 18 to 20, that's a pretty good class.
Yeah,
So,
and you're right, Bill. That's, at any level, but especially at D3, that's a real war of attrition.
yes. Yeah.
Because there's so many commitments on those young men,
Yeah.
You're looking at
They're not getting paid
these
for
men,
it.
That's right, and not only that, but you're looking at guys that aren't playing, for the most part, no, they're not going to go to the next level. So,
Right.
the commitment those guys are doing, it's all for the love of the game, and trying to do that and maintain a student status can be very difficult to do. So.
Sure. Okay, so we're back to action here. Michael Stanley in the pistol, 2x2 receivers. I apologize, offset eye and a little
Play
boot action.
roll.
And he gets it out to Chandler, I believe.
No, it's Dennis Smith. Coach,
No,
what do you
Dennis
think?
Smith.
Yeah,
Dennis Smith from Grand Blanc, Michigan.
I believe it was Jeremy Williams on the tackle. Nice stick there.
Yeah, it was. And that was a nice little pass. able to pick up about 8-9 yards. Looks like 8, and so it's going to be second down and short for the blue team. Stanley in the gun. He gives the ball to Himes, and Himes running like a truck, keeps the feet churning.
Oh, he just bowling people over there.
Picks
Coach.
up 10 yards on that, Chuck,
Yeah.
and there was a nice run by Himes.
About eight or nine of those 10 after contact. Too.
Oh, yeah. He just kept the legs churning.
Dragging people with him, running people over.
That's another point for the offense, and the offense is closing that gap.
Nice to see Himes run with that kind of power.
Yeah, and I know Coach Matthews has got a smile on his face seeing that.
For sure.
Offset eye to the right from the gun. We got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Stanley takes it. He drops quickly, avoids the pressure, and gets it out to the big tight end from Myers. And he picks up a better part of about 8 yards on that. So the offense is getting that momentum again, Coach.
Yeah, they are putting it together here. See if they can.
One of these last-minute drives to pull it out.
Pull it out. And that makes it 33-29, I believe.
28, I think.
33-28.
Yep.
So we've got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, offset eye to the left. And Stanley takes it. Himes again. He's off to the left. He cuts up. And
Didn't
able
have enough
to,
for the first.
He gets the first down.
Well, and Himes just not wanting to go down.
No. Down to the 45-yard line of the gold. And
big Dario Trill there, Coach. See, he's fired up there for the first down. Like to see that. Like to see some.
He's getting that steak knife polish, Chuck.
That's right.
Well, there's 2 big boys on that lawn.
Yeah, there's a few of them there. This is the steak drive here.
That's right. I'll tell you one thing. I would not want to have to pay for the steak.
No, that's for sure. You only get one. That's no seconds.
Trips.
That's right. 2-by-2 motion, left to right.
Oh,
Stanley keeps it, and it's a big gain for Stanley, about 12 yards.
Wow.
Nice. Another look at that zone read
Zone
off the
read,
jet action. And,
a little trickeration there. And
I'll tell you, he read that well. Defense flew out of there. And
yeah. If you're able to run that sweep, that play is very effective.
Yes, it is.
You know, that's the thing. But you got to be able to sell the defense that sweep is a threat. And a couple times we've been able to see the Hawks do that.
Yeah, they've gotten the edge. And again, like you said, if you get the edge, you're going to have the zone read up the middle.
Yep. 2-by-2 set.
Can't have one without the other.
Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like it is empty backfield.
Yeah, 3
Gets
by
the ball.
2.
Yeah, 3-by-2. Gets the ball out quickly.
Yeah, hooks up quick there to Dennis Smith. Smith goes down to one knee to make the catch, so no further gain. But
nice quick 5-6 yard gain.
Yeah, just a quick little hook up there. So that's going to make it about second and we'll call it 6.
Okay, we've got a 3 to the left, 1 to the right set from the pistol. Jesus Himes is the setback. A little play action to Himes, and there goes Stanley again.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be real close to the first, Bill.
And Stanley steams ahead for about
Stanley steams ahead.
Yeah, I like what you did there. I got that.
Steams ahead for a 5-yard pickup.
He's just cleaning up as he goes.
He's cleaning up as he goes.
Don't look now, but we're 34-33 defense now with that first down.
Yes, we are. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And they give it to Himes. And
just nothing there.
The defense was up to the challenge on that one. So second down here.
Yeah, really no running room at all. Defense, like we talked about earlier in the day, was kind of getting blown off the ball, but they pinched well on that one, and there's just no holes there.
Well, of course, anytime you run in the middle, you've got to deal with Mr. Vixata, too, which is
that's right.
not an easy thing to handle there.
That's for sure.
Okay. So number 28 is in the backfield. Kawan Mathis sets off to the left to Stanley.
All right. Mariner split out wide here, Coach.
Oh, we'll see what something. A little quickie to the middle, crossing route. Oh.
And that's going to be pass interference there on number 23.
It never works if you turn your back and put your hands up.
No, it doesn't. We don't have a number for 20 or a name for 23, but certainly blanket coverage, but like you said, when you show the official your back and that head never comes around,
Yep.
you're going to get that call. I mean, every time. So
Of course, this past year we saw a little bit of that in major college there. The Buckeyes were guilty of doing that quite a few times last year, and it just goes against all the principles of defensive backs there, Chuck.
yeah, it really does. You're right. But you're going to go out and press that much. That's what's going to happen.
Yep,
To you.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, looks like 2x2 here.
Yeah, but again, we've
Stanley
got
in the pistol,
Mariner in the slot here.
and we've got Mathis as the running back. And they're giving Mathis a good long look here. They give the ball to Mathis, and he powers ahead there. Wow,
Yeah.
he churns his feet, and he's down near about inside the 5-yard line, Chuck.
I'll tell you, 71 Quintavious Turner back in the lineup there. Nice drive there from his guard position. Drove the guy off the ball and just kept moving.
Blew some people off the ball. And this is goal line situation from looks like about the 4-yard line, so could be 4.2. I don't know, but somewhere in that area.
Well, we'll have to wait for Rick to measure it.
Yeah. Gotta get my binoculars out.
Okay, so Stanley looks him over. Still have Mathis in the backfield after a nice run there.
Yep.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. And he gives it the
Same thing.
And he lets Mathis very close to the goal
I'm not
line.
sure if he quite got him, but
down to the 1.
2 plays in a row. They're running behind big Quintavious Turner.
And that's what
and
you want.
Big Dario Tribble.
And here's where you want to see late in the game when you're big guys, are you too tired to push people off the ball? And I think that's what Coach Matthews is trying to see here is, hey, we want you guys to play yourself into shape here. And
well, that's right. And like you talked about at the end of the game, that's where, let's face it, that's where games are won or lost.
Yep.
If you can get those first downs when you really need them.
And Stanley keeps it, but no.
Fake and Stanley around right end.
Stanley has touched about a yard deep in the backfield, so I think they're going to be
looking down as a loss maybe.
Yeah.
That's going to bring up 4th down and goal.
Yes, it is.
Got one player still on the ground.
And that play was made by Giovanni Mathis, and nice play. He came off the edge there, and Stanley had nowhere to go.
Yeah, Rick's right. We do have a player down. Can't identify who it is, but
it's 36-36, and it looks like that might be where it's going to end.
Yeah, again, hate to see guys go down in
a spring
game like this. Yeah. So hopefully it's nothing serious.
So what we're saying is, if it ends just the way it is, then more than likely we've probably got some kind of fake steak.
maybe
Salisbury.
Maybe they get off the hook buying the steaks.
Salisbury steak.
Everybody gets hot dogs.
Hot dogs. That's right. Because they're certainly not going to give everybody steak.
Right? No, they're not.
No.
Yeah, so again, players still down there on the field. Don't want to speculate, obviously. Didn't see what it was or who it is.
Well, a lot of helmets are off, so
yeah,
that's leading me to believe that we've seen the conclusion of the Hocking spring game.
Yeah,
we're not sure about that yet, but
I'm sure Coach is thinking it'd be nice to end 36-36.
And not to get anybody else hurt.
Yeah.
So that I would say
he's up.
He is, and well, boy, that's a shame. That's big Quintavious Turner who went down earlier.
Yeah,
looks like he's a little trouble, little ankle trouble, and that's what was bothering him on the sideline earlier. So hopefully not serious, just re-aggravated it. And
right.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Well, look what we got here.
It's a field goal attempt on 4th down.
It is. How about that?
And this is Morosis. He has.
Yeah, that's just the snapper. And snap it back to Tyson Miles, the holder,
and he's made 2 today. He's made an extra point and a field goal, and there it is. And I believe.
Yeah. Kind of an ugly snap, but it got there.
Yeah.
So it's good.
We're kind of late on the call here, but
I have it.
30. There it is. Okay.
It's official.
So the offense, the blue pulls it out 39-36. And 3 for 3 in the kicking game. Coach Matthews got to be happy about seeing that.
Yeah, so let's see. Are we going to line up and go one more time or not? It doesn't look like it.
They're lining up. They're shaking.
They're lining up, so
okay.
that'll do it for football here today.
Well, from Nelsonville, Chuck Hale, Rick Phillips, Cody Schweitzer down on the field. Guys, it was fun. Get a little football in May. You don't expect to see that. Of course, you know, it was a big football weekend with the draft, and we wind it up today with the Hocking spring game. And we'll be back here in the fall for a few football games. Any final thoughts, Chuck?
You know, a lot of good things saw today. You know, hopefully didn't have any serious injuries. We, you know, saw a few guys go down, but again, it seemed like they were able to get back up and get back in the action.
I think we got another series.
Yeah, they got another
Hey,
series.
we are going to go one more.
They have
here,
decided
so,
to resurrect this.
All right.
So here we go. So we were
hold
doing
the
our
final
sign-off a little
I know. We were ready to
we
eat some Twinkies and move on.
Sure, that's right.
Twinkies, we're looking for some of that steak that was out there.
No, that steak's for winners.
Yeah,
not wieners.
I think
So-
we beat the other.
we
Beating the other broadcast.
We got 2x2
Well, that's
set,
true, yeah.
motion left to right. Stanley
Quarterback
keeps it
keeper.
again and picks up about 8 yards on the keeper.
Chuck makes a good point, yeah.
Yes, he does.
Where is that other broadcast group?
Must be in the other press box.
Yeah.
The one that's heated and air conditioned.
That's right.
and all that.
Yeah.
All right.
Ours
so
is-
again,
hey, ours is
second
air
and about
conditioned
3.
today.
Yes, it is.
Rick, you don't have to complain about the air conditioning.
Yeah, it's water cooled.
Hey, that is. 2x2 set from the pistol. Stanley getting ready for the snap. Little play action fake. He's rolling to his left. He looks.
That's going to go down as a sack.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere. That's probably about a yard loss.
Guess who? Vanden Vitsata on the sack.
Yeah, Vanden's had a pretty nice game there.
Yes, he has.
And so.
I guess did I spot that wrong? Did he actually pick up a yard or two? I think he did.
Yeah, I guess he did. I guess he
thought he
did
had
get
lost
it. Yeah, I
yards,
did
but
too, Chuck.
At
I was
least
thinking.
no gain, but
Well, it's third and very short. So I think you'd bring Himes in and give Himes the ball, but they've got number 4 in. I think that's Hushin.
that's Hutchins, out
Yeah.
of Briggs.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, in a game situation, that's probably what we would see. But
Yeah. So we got a 2x2 or third and very short. A little jet.
Yeah, we're
Motion.
gonna have motion, it looks like. I'll tell you, that's one thing we have not seen a lot of today. It's been a relatively clean game, not a lot of penalties.
Yeah. It's been, we had pass interference. We had an encroachment call. I think maybe 3 penalties the whole day.
Yeah,
So
I think that's the 4th right there. We've
Yeah.
had 2 motion penalties, but
Yep.
but again, after only 15 days of practice, like we talked about, this is almost a totally new unit.
Yeah.
To only have 2 motion penalties after 15 days, I think is something you can hang your hat on.
Yeah, you got to be happy about that. Okay, so we've got 2x2 set back offset to the left of Stanley. Stanley calls for the ball. He looks, and we
Wow.
big hit by number 24 for the goal.
Gilbert Whiteside, again, out of Arden, North
Whiteside.
Carolina.
Whiteside with the blind side on
That's
that
right.
one, and that was pretty good shot there.
Yeah, just separating from the football.
4th down for the offense. So it's 39-39. The defense has crawled back into it here. Or is that 39-38? I don't know. I can't tell.
I'm going to call it
I think
39-39.
39-39.
Okay. Didn't know if one of the bulbs was out.
It is. There's a few bulbs out. 2 of them behind me.
Oh, a little bubble screen.
Really well, and again,
That number
that's
20.
24.
Yeah, number 24.
So our North Carolina connection there, Gilbert Whiteside.
Yeah, Whiteside with the blind side again, and nice job. So the
just read that
defense.
screen, and looks like they're calling the guys out now. Looks like that may be it.
Yeah.
So they gave them that. It was tied. I guess it was overtime. That's what happened there. They
overtime?
decided to go to overtime since it was tied.
43 to
We'll call it
39.
that.
Huh?
So
Yeah.
the goal ekes out the win here, 49-30.
So just as we said, the
43,
defense
39.
never wins these things. The defense comes out and wins the game. So again, final thoughts, Chuck. Like you were saying,
again,
a lot of good things.
A lot of good things. Very competitive afternoon. We saw guys play with some emotion, but still be under control. And we saw, like we said, very few penalties. And that's like we talked about, part of the pressure of having these new kids every year is you're starting over almost from scratch every 2 years. So trying to get some continuity going can be tough, but we saw a lot of good things today.
I was impressed with Michael Stanley. I think he did a nice job coming in, ran the offense well especially in the second half.
Yes, he did.
And Jesus Himes, as we talked about, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
And just a bevy of young receivers, which will, that'll have to play itself out in the fall as they determine.
Yeah, and again, I'll be curious to know, if they're able to have a big receiver. They don't seem to have
Kevin Greenhow,
like Greenhow was last year.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can replace him.
Yeah.
Defensively, we saw a lot of nice young players today. Which I think, really bodes well for the fall.
Well, nice hitting out there on the defense. I mean, if you're going to go into that Hawk secondary, you are going to pay the price if you catch the football.
Exactly.
So again, final score, 43 for the gold, 39 for the blue. The defense pulls out the victory in the overtime drive. And so for Rick Phillips and Chuck Hale and T.J. Baker and Cody Schweitzer there down on the field, you've been listening to Hawk Football on Campus Nation, and so long, everyone.